Here we have a problem on derivative. Okay, let's go over the question. Find the x values of all points on the graph of y equals to x to the fourth power negative 2 times x square, where the tangent line is horizontal. Okay, to find x values of all points where the tangent line is horizontal to the graph of the given function. So first we need the slope of the tangent line. Okay, to get the slope of the tangent line, what I need to do is I have to find the dy over dx from the given function. So that is, I have to find derivative of y with respect to x in the given function. Okay, let me take the given function as it is. It is y equals to x to the fourth power negative 2x square. Okay, now I find derivative of y with respect to x. So on the right side also I have to find derivative of this term with respect to x. Okay, to get derivative of this term x to the fourth power, we can use the power rule of derivative. That is, we have to move this exponent 4 in front of the variable x. Then it will become 4 times x and subtract 1 from the exponent. So this is actually power rule of derivative. Okay, negative. So 2 is a constant multiplied by the variable. When I find derivative, I have to keep the constant multiplied by the variable as it is. Now I have to find the derivative of this variable part. So the derivative of x square with respect to x is just 2x, because I bring the exponent in front of the variable and subtract 1 from the exponent. Okay, let's simplify this. So dy over dx equals to 4x cubed negative 2 times 2x is 4x. Okay, now I got dy over dx from the given function. Actually, this dy over dx represents the slope of the tangent line. But we have to find the value of, we have to find x values of all points where the tangent line is horizontal. If the tangent line is horizontal, then the slope has to be 0. Not only for tangent line, for any line which is being horizontal, the slope will be 0. How is it possible? Okay, let's discuss with an xy plane over here. So here x-axis and here y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we have negative 1, negative 2, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to draw an horizontal line at y equals to 3. Okay, so this is an horizontal line. Its equation is y equals to 3. Okay, just consider the values of x on this horizontal line. So what's the x coordinate at this point on the line, horizontal line? It's just 1. And what is the x coordinate over here? 2. It's 3. It's 4. And here the x coordinate is negative 1, negative 2. So on the horizontal line y equals to 3, so the x value is getting changed. Okay, negative 2, negative 1. So it depends on where we look at a point, we get a different value for x. So x is getting changed. So what about the value of y? At this point, it's 3. At this point, 3. At this point, 3. So at everywhere on the horizontal and y equals to 3, the y coordinate is same. That means there is no change in y coordinate. So let's consider the slope of this horizontal line, dy over dx. Actually, dy stands for derivative of y. Derivative of y is nothing but change in y. So what is the change in y on this horizontal line? Actually, no change. Y is a constant, that is 3. So no change in y. So the derivative of y is 0. Okay, dx means change in x. Is there any change in x? Yes, it's there, because at each point we get different value for x. So there is some change for x. So we have to write this dx as it is. So 0 divided by anything equals to 0. So now dy over dx becomes 0. That means the slope of the horizontal line is always 0. So because no change in y, so we put 0 for this one. There is some change for x. So we have some value for dx. So 0 divided by some value equals to 0. So this is how the slope of an horizontal line becomes 0. That means here dy over dx represents the slope of the tangent line. So when the tangent line is horizontal, so then the slope dy over dx has to be 0. So we can set dy over dx has to be 0. So because the tangent line is horizontal. Okay, what we got for dy over dx? 4x cubed negative 4x. Okay, so what's the greatest common divisor for these two terms? So just 4x. So 4x can be factored out. Okay, if I factor 4x out, what I have left in the first term? So to know that, I have to divide this 4x cubed by the one I factored out, which is 4x. So when you divide 4x cubed by 4x is 4, 4 will cancel out, x will cancel out, and it will become x square. So I have x square left in the first term, negative. So what I have left in the second term? So to know that, I have to divide this 4x by the one I factored out. So when I divide 4x by 4x, what do I get? So this one will cancel. It will just result 1 equals to 0. Okay, the product of 4x and x square negative 1 equals to 0. So either 4x equals to 0 or x square negative 1 equals to 0. Okay, to solve for x in this first equation, I have to divide both sides by 4. Then I get x equals to 0. Okay, now we have to solve the second equation, x square negative 1. So I am adding 1 to both sides. The negative 1 positive 1 will cancel out. I get x square equals to 1. But my aim is to get the value of x. For that, to get of the square, I have to take square root on both sides. So the square root and square root cancel out. So whenever I take square root for a number, the sign in front of the square root has to be positive or negative. Okay, now on the left side, I just have x. On the right side, positive or negative. Square root of 1 is just 1. So I get two values for x in this case. One is x is equal to positive 1 and the other one is x is equal to negative 1. So when I equate the first derivative, I mean when I equate the slope of the tangent line dy over dx to 0, I get three values for x. X equals to 0, x equals to 1 and x is equal to negative 1. So in the points where we get x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1 and x is equal to negative 1, so the tangent line to the graph of the given function is horizontal.